What's up everybody, you're very welcome along to Saturday night's late night agenda. I'm your host Craig, this is the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel and you're very welcome along. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend, looking forward to the Reds game against Leicester City on Wednesday. It seems like a damn eternity since the Reds have been in action, but we can knock off one day at a time, we'll get there soon enough. We've had some FA Cup shocks today, we can have a talk about the Toffees going out, whoops, oh well, didn't expect that, but we did really. West Ham just going out as well at Wimbledon. Lots of people in the chat already. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Let's kick off the show. Our friend Origi is in. How are we? Anybody watch the Wimbledon versus West Ham game? Mate, I did. I'm still chuckling a little bit, if I'm being honest. But in fairness to Wimbledon, they really put it up to them. They were a very, very good side today. I was very impressed with them. Coutinho is gold. He's not really. Coutinho's history, Troy, is more what I'd say, mate. History. Who else have we? Mossy is in. Will is in. Tom is in. Danny is in. Who else have we got? Jersey Boy's in. Tomas is in. Sean W, Xbox player, Mustafi, Mickey Friars, Mossy Kyo, Stephen Richards, Farah, Mickey Friars and Jason. Lots of people coming in, guys. How are we? Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's not over yet. There's still a bit of it to go. Still some more FA Cup football tomorrow. A few other bits and pieces as well. My goodness, this chat is moving quickly. It's getting fucking harder and harder to read it out as we go along. Guys, look, I have a few things for us to talk about tonight, but you know what? I want to read your comments first because I don't feel I got through enough of them last night. Ricky Hill said, love the channel, watching in Florida. Firstly, Ricky, I'm jealous as fuck, mate. I'd love to be over in Florida now. Secondly, welcome, mate. Thank you so much. I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. I love knowing where everybody's from, so thank you for letting me know where you're watching. Connor is in. Our own Connor, Mr. Crosby, Mr. fucking NASA himself. How are we? Anthony Peters, Matthew Edwards, just watched a full 2-minute ad for you. Top man, love it. Man City just can't stop scoring, said Jamal. Yeah, but it's more games in their legs, that's what I'll say, mate. Fair play to them, keep on winning, great stuff and all that. I only give a fuck about their league results, if I'm being honest. But, you know, more minutes in their legs, more goals for the players. What can you say? We're 4 points clear at the top of the league. They're hunting us. That's the way I'd like it. I'd rather them hunting us than us, you know, trying to chase them down. Paul Turner is in as well. Hello to you, sir. Larry Leach, our good friend from Calgary. Larry, how are you? Tom Flynn said, hello Craig, some performance from Wimbledon, Millwall. Absolutely, absolutely. You can say that the FA Cup doesn't have the same mystique or the same emotions as it used to, but it does for the teams outside of the Premier League, I feel. And you can see how much that meant to Millwall today and how much that meant to Wimbledon. They put 100% into those games, and I'm not trying to suggest that Everton didn't and that West Ham didn't. They did. But at home, Millwall, unbelievable, right at the end, last minute, 3-2. You couldn't make it up. We'll get through that in more detail as well. We'll talk some more FA Cup stuff. We'll look ahead to the game against Leicester. God almighty, there's so much for us to get through. Chat moves quickly, as I said, and I'm going to try and keep up tonight. Have you heard the news that Barcelona bought the young Mossy? I have, mate. I spoke about it a little bit last night, and funnily enough, I do have a little bit more on it tonight to go through. Something about North Americans there. Where the fuck did that comment go? Where is it? Come on. Done that one. I've read something about North America there. And I've lost. Oh, there we go. Have you all heard about the North American Supporters Convention? No, Larry. I have not, but this is as good place as any to let people know about it. Larry, mate, you put it in the chat. Make sure you highlight it for me, buddy. Any information, I will definitely read it out. Hard-boiled egg in the house. Whoop, whoop. Said Jay, love it Jay. It wouldn't be Jay if he doesn't come in and give me a little bit of abuse, a little bit of loving abuse to start off with. With Ming the Merciless image on your left. That's me, motherfucker. That's me. Cartoon Craig. Looking like I can actually grow a goatee and all. Shout out to Liverpool Cartoons who did that for me ages ago as well. It's too cold and rainy, overcast day, 50. Fuck off, Far Royal. You don't get sympathy for rain, mate. I live in Ireland. The poor people over here in the Ireland, the UK, Scotland, you don't know what rain is, motherfucker. You don't know what rain is. Although, to be fair, I've seen some of them downpours in Florida. They can be nuts at times. I'm feeling rather boisterous tonight, guys. You can probably tell I'm a little bit happy, a little bit giddy. Did anybody else just get an ad? Connor wants to know. I don't know. Did anybody get an ad? I think Connor must be trying to play ads in the background, trying to get that NASA money up. Craig, you gave me a mod, thank you. I did, and do you know why I did it? I gave you a mod, Origi, just because the guy underneath you in the chat asked for one, and I just thought I'm going to wind this fucker up a little bit and I'm going to give Origi one. Of course, mate, you deserve one as well. You've been here ages. I hate Millwall, said Kieran. I don't think there are too many outside of Millwall, mate, that do like Millwall, to be honest. NABY KEITA will come good. Gary, that's what I want to start the conversation on tonight, actually, guys, on NABY KEITA, because I took a lot of time today to get some statistics and stuff like that and get ready. So, Will said the stream's lagging for him. Is anybody else? Have we got a stream lag for anybody else? Because I hate reading stuff like this. For me, it looks good. As I said, we are working with a new camera over the last few days. Last night we nailed it. I thought it was pretty damn good. Tonight, hopefully, nobody's getting any lag. At my end, it looks good. I'm guessing at Connor's end, it looks good, or he'd be complaining. There was no need for that at all at Millwall, but it is Millwall. Oh, wait, what happened? I didn't see the end of the game. Sorry. So if I've missed something in that Millwall game, let me know. It's not lagging at all, said Jersey Boy. It's all... Kane, what do you mean it's alright, motherfucker? It's fucking class, is what you're trying to say, buddy. No lag at my end. There we go. Boom. How many people have I called motherfuckers tonight so far? I feel like I've definitely hit my quota of motherfuckers tonight. Craig, more here, North America Supporters Club. So there's a link there if anybody wants to go through it. It's copcon.org, really straightforward. www.copcon.org, KOPCON.org. Brilliant. Great name for it as well, Larry. Everton fan got stabbed before the game. Shit, did not know that. There's no fucking place for that in sport. I mean, regardless if it's an Everton fan, Liverpool fan, United fan, as football fans, we cannot condone that type of shit. That is disgraceful. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but a football fan got stabbed. That's bad enough. That's enough for me to think that it's absolutely fucking disgusting and there's no place for it. I don't know who did it. I don't, cast aspersions as to who it was, but a fan got stabbed. There's no place for that in the sport. Obviously, our best wishes to the person in question. I don't know if it was male, female, adult, kid, I don't know, but our best wishes to them. I hope they make a speedy recovery. What else we got? Craig, loads of trouble before the Millwall game. That's fucking... Do you know what, guys? I don't like this type of stuff in football. Nobody does. And I don't want to go back to those dark days of... Maybe some of you guys don't remember the 80s. And look, I didn't travel over to games in the 80s. I was too young, but I remember seeing it on the television. I remember reading about the violence. I remember listening to people. The Anfield Rap guys, for instance... a couple of the guys on there speaking about when they were younger and going to games and, having to be very fucking careful where they were walking and stuff like that. I think it was Rob, actually, from the Anfield Rap. Really, really good stories and stuff like that about it. And you think that those days are gone. You'd hope that those days are gone in football. But when you hear things like this, when you see what happened to Michael Cox, for instance, and, there's many, many, many other instances around, it's a fucking game of football, guys. It's there to be celebrated and enjoyed. Yes, there's tribalism involved in sport. And yes, when you have so many people, sometimes you get that mob mentality, but it's up to people to self-police. It's up to people to pull people in and say, fuck you, there's no place for that, mate. That's too far, calm down. Hopefully, this shit, we don't see another explosion of this stuff in the game, because none of us need it, none of us want it. And as I said, just to reiterate, our best wishes to the person involved. I hope they make a speedy recovery. Okay, what else we got? Not stabbed, he was slashed across the face. Either way, mate, once you're cut with a blade, you're stabbed. Stabbed, sliced, whatever it is. It's still disgusting. Right, let's push on, guys, and let's start the stream by having a little conversation around NABY KEITA. As you can see, the name of the stream tonight, and I thought it was quite good. I actually came up with the title tonight, Make NABY KEITA Great Again. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Right, so look, let's have a conversation about KEITA, as I said. The obvious reasons to point out why he mightn't be doing well, or the things that me, you and most other lay people perhaps would look at, are the language barrier from coming into a new country, the pace and the style of the league perhaps, a few injuries that he's picked up along the way as well. They haven't helped him out, and there's probably a few other bits and pieces, and that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, and it's probably the way I would have looked at it, because I'm a pretty simple guy. But the Echo had a really good piece today where they used Y Scout, and we spoke about Y Scout last week on a stream. It's pretty fucking cutting edge when it comes to technology and stuff like that. So they used Y Scout to look at some data during his time in Germany, and this could probably help us understand a little bit what we can expect from NABY KEITA, where he plays well, where he doesn't play well. And basically they broke this down into two sections. So they looked at NABY KEITA playing in a wide position, whether that be on the left or on the right, and they looked at NABY KEITA playing centrally. I'm going to go through it section by section, so bear with me. This is going to take a couple of minutes. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be reading a lot of it, so I mightn't be able to make as much eye contact with the camera as I usually would. But look, let's start with section 1. So When playing on the left or right of the midfield, NABY KEITA averaged 35.95 passes per 90 minutes with a success rate of just over 80%. Interestingly though, when he played in central midfield, the amount of passes per game is massively increased with an average of 52.79 per 90 minutes. So as you talk about 17 more passes there in a game when he's playing centrally, with a success rate of 83%. So the success rate a little bit higher, but when he's playing centrally, he plays a lot more passes. As well as this, how he actually uses the ball in both areas is another indication of how we might better or get better performances from NABY KEITA. So out wide again, his forward passing average is 11.81 per 90 minutes. So while he's in a wide position, his forward passes per game 11.81, with a success rate of just over 65%. But he also opted to pass backwards an average of 6.68 times per 90 minutes. When played to the centre, though, his forward passing dramatically increased and he averaged 20.42 passes per 90 minutes forward. So that's an increase there of 9 passes. Just by playing centrally, he's passing the ball forward 9 more times in the game, with a success rate of just shy of 75%. And fewer backwards passes as well, which is interesting. Let's look at his goal threat now, and again, this is from the Echo. I'm not claiming any, like this is my statistics or anything. I took this from the Echo. They use Y-Scout for their stats. His goal threat. So when playing in a wide position, his expected goal average per game is 0.12, which shows he has just over 10% chance of scoring whenever he takes the field playing in a wide position. In terms of assists playing out wide, he averaged 0.39 per 90 minutes. But when playing through the centre, his expected goals average up to 0.17, suggesting he offers a lot more goal threat when playing through the centre. From a defensive standpoint, again looking at the wide areas first, he averaged 7.45 defensive duels with a success rate of 18.9%. He also averaged 4.88 interceptions per 90 minutes, no blocked shots at all while playing in this position. So again, when he's playing wide, he's got just under 7.5 defensive duels per game. With a success rate of just under 20%, which isn't great to be fair. And he averaged only 4.8 interceptions per 90 minutes. There was a much increased output when he played in a central role. He averaged 8.16 defensive duels with a much enhanced success rate of 24.5%. So basically a quarter of his defensive duels he won. There was also an increase in his interceptions per 90 minutes at 5.15%. And his shots blocked average came up to 0.19 per 90 minutes. So about, 20%? Just shy of 20%? Well, all these numbers are based on his time in Germany. It does suggest that the Reds would most likely see improvement if we played NABY KEITA through the centre. Now look, as I said, again, Y-Scout stats from the Echo, not claiming that they're mine. I'm just trying to pass them on. You guys know I'm not really one for stats. I don't understand stats as well as many other people, so I just tried to take the clearest ones I could from that article. Now basically, from my humble reading of that, or hashtag in my humble opinion, as you guys like, I think it's pretty clear, and we've seen this ourselves. NABY KEITA playing out on the wide left, which has been played in a few times for Liverpool, it doesn't suit him. It doesn't suit him at all. You get much more from NABY KEITA when he's playing centrally, even if it's a little bit deeper. We've seen him being able to break lines. We've seen him being able to pick out a forward pass. We know he's got an eye for goal. So what I've taken from this, in my view, is we need to start playing NABY KEITA through the centre. It might sound like a very simplistic thing, but when you add that on top of the fact that he's in a new country, learning to speak a new language, the pace of a new league, picking up some injuries, getting to know a new system with Jurgen Klopp, you can understand why we haven't quite seen the best of him yet. Now, I absolutely love the guy. I absolutely adore NABY KEITA, and I'm positive that he's going to come good. I hope that was as clear as I could make it for you. I know it probably just sounds like numbers, but I want to come into the chat now, see how you guys are feeling about it, see what your thoughts are on NABY KEITA, and if you've missed, or if I've missed anything that you guys have seen on him, because this is your show, motherfuckers. There you go, that's motherfucker number 9, I think. Craig, you've done your homework. I have today, Tom. I've done my homework today. New camera, new Craig, trying to do better stuff. KEITA doesn't look like he's a true desire to break into the team and fight for his place like the rest of the lads, said Jay. I haven't seen that, Jay. Personally, mate, I haven't. He's a fighter, NABY KEITA. But, you know, it's your opinion, buddy, and I respect you for it. KEITA's best position is in the 10. That's where Bobby plays, and we can't take Bobby out of the team. So, hello, dog. Jurgen will tell him to sit there for now. Just not quite reliable enough in this crucial period, said Graham Holmes. He might be forced into playing him soon, but you probably are spot on there, Graham. He will be just telling him to bide this time, trying to keep his confidence up, you know, telling him he'll come good, exactly as you've said. Give KEITA some more time, said Tom Jones. Fabinho still better down the middle, said Keane. Yes, but different positions, mate. Fabinho will play in the 6, whereas KEITA will be 8/10, so a bit more in the front foot. Ragnar Clavin the GOAT is in. How are we? Craig, is Fabinho fit for right back for the next game? Yes. I believe he just had an illness. I think him and Van Dijk just had a bit of an illness. It's not an injury, so we should be good to go. The French fan is back, my friends. Good luck for Liverpool champions 2019. How are you, sir? Welcome. Thank you for dropping back in. He's not a wide player, needs to play centrally. That's obvious, said Kev's LFC artwork. It might be obvious, buddy, but it's still he still has to get a place in the team. It depends on what way Jurgen Klopp sets up. If we set up and we play let me go with a 4-2-3-1, then you're probably going to see somebody like Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and then as somebody else suggested, what do you do there? Drop him in behind Bobby Firmino and play Bobby Firmino further up, or do you push Bobby Firmino out the wide, play him centrally and put Mo Salah through the centre? There are headaches there for the manager, and with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back as well, Adam Lallana making his way back to fitness, the options will be a little bit clearer for Jurgen Klopp. Ant said, hey Craig, hope you had a good day. Also the video from that Millwall Everton game, horrendous racial stuff, can't say the word, but said something. Look, fuck them, Ant. Let's not even give them time, mate. Let's not even talk about them anymore, all that scumbag behaviour. Crosby Red is in the house. Crosby Red, how are you? I want to take a second to say thank you to Crosby Red, actually, for sending me over that match programme from the Liverpool Crystal Palace game, the one with the Bob Paisley stuff in it. Thank you so much, Crosby Red. I did send you an email. If you want to just send me on your PayPal or anything, I'm happy to fix up with you for that. Very kind of you to send that over to me. Thank you so much. Right, Ben said, hi guys, what the fuck is on the right hand side of the screen? This guy in cartoon form. Yeah, Ming the Merciless in his Liverpool shirt. Whoop whoop. What else have we got? If he can hit the level he did in his first game of the season against West Ham, we'll be set, said Keane. Craig, can you put the bobblehead in your Lamborghini? Yeah, defo. That's what I should do. Get a Rolls Royce or something, fucking throw the sign away, mash that motherfucker down on the front of it. Put Bobby and Salah on the right wing. Put Bobby striker and Salah on the right wing, excuse me, said Liverpool fan 9. What else? Loads more comments. Craig, who would get picked first? KEITA, Chamberlain, personally Chamberlain. It's a really tough question, mate. It's a really tough question. I would pick KEITA ahead of Chamberlain, to be honest. But I also think that we're looking too simplistically if we're just talking about a first 11 all the time, because there's going to be times where we have to rest Mo, we have to rest Bobby, and that's where maybe you could throw NABY, KEITA, centrally put Oxlade-Chamberlain out a little bit wide. Love the Under Armour, Craig, great sponsor, wink wink, said Tony. I'm trying to mix it up. Sometimes you guys have me second guessing. I'm putting on the top for the stream and I'm going, oh no, hang on, did I wear Nike yesterday? They'll go mad at me if I wear Nike again. I better wear something else. I love that artwork on the right. Who done it? It was done by Liverpool Cartoons, mate. Dave from Liverpool Cartoons. He did it for me a long time ago. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago at this point. I love it though. It's really, really cool. What else we got? Shankly, Paisley, Dalglish used to buy players. You sometimes don't see them for a good year before they came into the team. It's mad how much football has changed. Everybody wants something straight away, said Carl Callum. You're right, Carl. We're very impatient as football fans, and I include myself in that list. As much as I'm sitting here now saying, yeah, it's great, let's give NABY, KEITA time and stuff, which is absolutely sound, it is still a little bit annoying that he hasn't hit the ground running just yet, because we know what he can do, we know how good he can be. KEITA was brilliant in his last few games. I think these have stopped his flow and progress. Well, no, he wasn't actually, if I'm being honest. I thought NABY, KEITA's last couple of games are pretty shitty. I'd expect a lot more from him. But before his injuries, right at the start of the season, yes, I could see flashes of what we're hoping to get from NABY, KEITA. Jurgen Klopp, the gaffer, said we should go for a right wing with Mo playing striker. Would have loved Pulisic, but we're waiting for Ox to come back so he can play there. What on this one actually? On the whole, Mo Salah on the right or Mo Salah through the centre. Where do people stand on this? Because I have to say, I like Mo Salah playing from the right hand side. I don't think he's as good centrally unless he's getting a run at defence. We've seen in recent games when he actually dropped deep, he was a little bit more effective because he got into the game more. When he was up front, for me, through the centre, he was just being marked out of games by 2 or 3 defenders. Adam is in. Adam, how are you, sir? Sorry for missing a few streams. You've no need to apologise, mate. Never need to apologise. Guys, I have fixed around with the camera settings, by the way. So, do you remember last night we had ads? Well, we call them ads. It's just a little break to reset the camera. Every 22 minutes it was. Tonight we can go the full half hour. I've reset the camera. I've played with the settings. I've tested it. So, you're only going to get 2 little breaks for 30 seconds on tonight's stream, which is me trying my best to help everybody out. Clapo said I prefer Mo on the right hand side too. You're out of sync, Craig. That's Connor playing with it. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Somehow we're up to 900. Connor, you've got me baffled here, mate. I have no idea what's going on here. Why am I going out of sync again? Bear with me, guys. I've no idea what's going on here. It was working perfectly and then boom, it's gone out of sync. Okay, where are we? Oh, it's gone way out. Connor said it seems to be fine now. It's fine now. We good? We good? Nice. Good. Well worked, Connor. There he is, saving my ass again. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see if it's still okay when we reset the camera in a couple of minutes. Right, what else have we got? Some more of your comments. How about we blame Connor for everything? Well, that's a give me, to be fair, mate. That's a gimme. Tonight we can go the full half hour. Thanks, Mrs. Craig. Happy then. Yeah, they're well, look, she's never seen Craig go for a half an hour, Dave. There's no point lying about it, mate. Liverpool will bottle it, said Lee Newman, mate. Your view is pretty much fucking irrelevant to us, mate. I can't see you down there. Are you alright, Lee? Lee? Can anyone see Lee down there in 6th? I can't see him from up here. Lee? I think he's alright. Lee, let us know you're alright, mate. We can't see it up here. It's just fucking cold up here at the top, though. It's lonely as well, Lee. Lonely at the top. You just focus on making top 4, mate. There you go. Likes, people, likes. Hashtag blame Connor. Hashtag obs, mate. Hashtag obs. Nah, Connor's paying. See what I did there, Connor? See what I did there, mate? Using the young. I'm down with the kids, me. Can't say we make Lazar great again. That's not possible, Stevie, mate. You cannot make Lazar Markovic great again. It just can't be done. People have tried for centuries. Philosophers have tried to write books about it. It just cannot be done. There's no making Lazar great again. Right, guys, look, we're about 20 odd minutes into tonight's stream. If you're watching for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. If you can, please take a minute and hit that subscribe button. But when you do subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell. We go live every night at about 10 o'clock or 10:15. We also do match watch-alongs, transfer videos, a few other bits and pieces as well. And sometimes these things can happen right at the last minute. So if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and remember, turn on the notifications. Really important. Unless, of course, you don't want to see us, then, you know, but no need. But if you do want to come on, you want to catch us live, then please do hit those buttons. Not even Donald Trump can persuade people he can make Lazar great again. He'd give it a fucking go, though, Jose. I mean, you know he'd think he could. I guarantee if we sat down with old Trumpy Poo, he'd reckon he could make him great again. Would you have Fowler or Suarez at their best? Fowler, Sean. Fowler. Fucking love him. Probably the most natural finisher I've ever seen in my lifetime, Robbie Fowler. You got a lot more from Suarez in other areas, of course, and I'm a massive Suarez fan. But Fowler is my favourite Liverpool player of all time, buddy. Henderson was great in the last game. He was, Alban. That's a really good show. He was very good in the last game. And it was also good to see a lot of people give him that credit for just how good he was. Right, guys, I will see you all in 30 seconds. It's time for the first little ad break of the night. What's up, everybody? Apologies for interrupting the show. I just want to remind you guys about our competition with thanks to our friends at scoredraw.com. Score Draw have given us any Score Draw shirt or any Score Draw tracksuit top to give away to one of our viewers or subscribers. To enter, all you have to do is check out either the Anfield Agenda Twitter page or the Anfield Agenda Instagram page. You can find us on both by searching at Anfield Agenda. The competition winner will be announced on January the 31st, and as always I want to say a massive thank you to scoredraw.com. They've been very good to us this year and we appreciate all their help. Best of luck everybody, and we'll head back to the show now. See guys, I'm getting good at this shit. It's becoming seamless now. Getting good at this. I'm getting good at it. Craig's twin from last night. Don't worry, as time goes on and we play around with this a little bit more, I'll get that down to about 15 seconds. You won't have the full 30 seconds, but it does allow us to reset and it allows us to get another 30 minutes out of this beautiful Nikon camera. Enjoying the Craig show with the best drink in the world. Guinness. Now, come on, mate. We all know that this is the best drink in the world. Diet Chav, the drink of kings. Somebody mentioned to me earlier on about De Jong and Barcelona, and I said I had a little bit on this. Do you remember last night we spoke about young players and how it doesn't matter how little experience they have these days, they're going for absolutely fucking ridiculous money. Ridiculous money. We're seeing Hudson-Odoi around 40 million for him and about 85 grand a week. Any player Liverpool seem to be linked with, 50 million. 50 million. Any number, it doesn't matter. 50 million, doesn't matter who they are. Well, Frankie De Jong, as we know, one of the hottest prospects in European football, a kid who everybody wanted. He's gone to Barcelona. He's gone to Barcelona for a fee ranging from between 60 and 70 million, depending on add-ons and stuff like that. But what really got me about this, I seen something on Pep Guardiola saying that they're not willing to overpay in wages for players. And yeah, we might sit here and go, yeah, fuck off, Pep. But to be fair, when I heard what Frankie De Jong was going to be earning at Barcelona, it made me sick. It really fucking did. That young man at 21 years of age, now he's had a fantastic move. He's going to be on 300 grand a week. £300,000 a week at 21 years of age at Barcelona. Now that is ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Where will his career go from there? Where will his wages go from there? He has 12, maybe 13 years left in the game. Every 2 years he's probably going to want a contract increase. Where do you go from 300 grand a week? I know football is moving on and I know wages have got bigger and bigger, but with the money being charged for kids or being looked for kids these days and the money that they're on, it's getting beyond the joke. 300 grand for a 21-year-old who's had a couple of good seasons with Ajax. It's over the top. It's fucking ridiculous. Right, let's see how you're all feeling about this. Jay said that the young lad is on 300 grand a week. Where do you go from that? Exactly as I just said, mate. Where the fuck do you go from that? Connor, buddy, if you're still watching with the camera reset, is the sync still good? Can we get a thumbs up? A lot of people having a go at Mr. Lee Newman, Manchester United fan. And you tell me to ignore him when everybody in the chat's there battling away with him. Suarez and Fowler, my forwards in my top Liverpool squad of all time, said James Doherty. They wouldn't be far away from mine, mate. I love the two of them. 300 grand a week, where's the incentive, said Sean W. Salah's on 200 grand a week and he's one of the best in the world. I think he's on more than that, to be fair. I think he's on a bit more than that. Now I could be wrong, but you're right, still at this point he's a proven player, been to the World Cup, been to a Champions League final, broken records in the Premier League, and as you said, he's still on less than this unproven kid. Will said we should just take the piss and play Lazar, Divock and Moreno. No, we shouldn't. No, we really shouldn't, mate. Sterling issue was the same, said got cool. Yeah, he went on to 200 and something grand a week, I think, when he left Liverpool. I think. Don't hold me to that one. I hope he flops like Coutinho, said Jose. It just seems, and I know we've got to move with the times, and I know people are only going to be paid what they can get, but 300 grand. And they have Messi in that team. They have Coutinho in that team. They have Suarez in that team. And they're not going to be on shitty wages either. Tony said 300 grand a week. You can still play bad. I think he loves that, to be honest. Jack Rodwell was on 70 grand a week in the Championship. That is nuts as well. William Spencer said Sandro Tonali to Liverpool for 23 million. Again, mate, I've got to be honest, I've never heard of him. I'm honest. I'm always honest to a fault sometimes on here when it comes to my knowledge of players. I haven't heard that rumour, nor have I heard of the player. If they're stupid enough to pay it, then let's hope it doesn't break the game, said Recessionizer. Okay, some more comments. Craig, it looks like someone has a gun to your head on that ad. They do. It's the wife saying, get me some money, motherfucker. He's funny, Craig. I.e. Strange on an LFC channel. You'd be amazed, Graham. Now, to be quite frank, we get some fans in from every club, and 99% of them are sound. Some of them come in just for a bit of debate, for a bit of fun. That's all good. You of course get some assholes as well, but we do welcome everybody in. All we ask is that if you're new or you're coming in for the first time, just to be respectful to everyone in the chat, and then you get a chance to make your point. And you know, if you're a United fan, welcome. It's all good as long as you're respectful. Sean said, imagine getting 300 grand once. Exactly, once. I mean, I'd get me first wage and I'd be ringing in sick then for the next month. I watched Markovic in the under-23s last Sunday. God, he was awful, said Carl. I'm counting down the minutes, mate, until we get rid of him. He's been fucking robbing a wage since he got here. Who's going to win the Premier League? We are, Siobhan. We are, of course, my friend. The Reds are going to win it. Has anybody else thought the team spending this much on youngsters might be putting too much pressure on them, said O-Dog. To be fair, I think anybody in their position signing for a club like Barcelona, I don't know if the wages are going to be what puts the pressure on them. For me, and from an outside perspective, I would have always thought that it's the transfer fee that would have, you know, put the pressure on them. But you're right, he's on 300 grand a week. And we know that the Barcelona fans aren't shy of letting their players know if they're not performing well enough for them. You mean Coutinho's got it. We've seen other players get it over the years as well. They won't hold back from this kid. You won't get that time to bed in. If he doesn't hit the ground running and start becoming the new fucking Iniesta or the new fucking Xavi, he's going to know about it. Lingard was class today in Soccer AM. I did see that. Yeah, he missed the penalty and he ended up costing the Wimbledon fans £500, but he went out and gave them 600 quid after the show, which is top notch. What a lad. Fair play to Lingard. I've taken the piss out of him for his dancing and stuff before, but you know what, credit where it's due. Fair play to him. Craig, if you were Conor Cody, it's the last game of the season and Liverpool could win the league, what would you do? You know what I'd be doing, mate. Sticking one in top bins in my own net, and the Reds be marching out there with a trophy. I think we all have that little dream, don't we? Once we seen it was Wolves end of the season, and we thought, Conor Cody plays for Wolves, doesn't he? Let's see what happens there. But you know, he's a professional through and through, Conor Cody, and fair play to him. I'm very impressed with the way he went down through the leagues. Did make it at Liverpool, he didn't give up, and now he is back in the Premier League, captaining Wolves, I should say. How would you rate Agger, said Jason X. He was a quality player, a very, very good, assured, silky, classy centre-back. But, of course, injuries. Injuries got the better of him. But I love Danny Agger. I mean, how could you? The guy would die for the club. Loves the club as much as any fan. Yeah, I am a big Danny Agger fan, to be fair. It's just that I don't think we've seen enough of him because of injuries. And it's often the way with the great ones. We've signed a 16-year-old defender, I think, said Tyler Bowen. We have, mate. We signed a young guy from, I think it was Lorient in France. He had a trial in November with the club. They were impressed. They decided to push ahead with the deal. He's signed, I think, to replace Keanu Hoover in the under-18s as he's pushed up. And again, so he'll do the under-18s and then hopefully progress to the under-23s. But yes, he has been signed. I think I don't know if he's a right-back or a centre-back, but I know he's definitely a defender. What are your thoughts on Callum Hudson-Odoi rejecting a new contract? He seems pretty adamant that he wants to go and play for Bayern, and you know what? It has to be an attractive proposition. And look, playing in the Premier League with Chelsea, you know, they're probably telling him he's going to get a game there as well, but he must just look at his career and think he either fancies the German league, he fancies a change of lifestyle. I don't know, but I'm not knocking the kid. If he wants to go and play for Bayern Munich, then let him go and play for Bayern Munich, as long as Chelsea get a fee that they're happy with. There you go. Lee said, I'm being respectful. I don't want people to think I'm being disrespectful. Mate, I haven't seen anything from you that's been disrespectful at all. You're just having a conversation, putting your opinion across. Not your sound, Lee, mate. Work away. What else have we got? Craig, what do you think of Kingsley Coman as backup for Sadio Mane? I've seen little bits and pieces of Kingsley Coman. Not enough to give a valid opinion. Probably best to ask somebody that's watched more of the German league than I have. Again, I'd imagine it would be silly money for a backup player. I can imagine we could probably get somebody a lot better. And I don't like the phrase backup either. because I'd like to think that we should have 5 or 6 players to play in those 3 front positions, and not much of a drop off between any of them. To be fair, I like us to have a squad that's not like for like, but I mean 80% of the player you're replacing, perhaps. Stevie Richard said, I think Fabinho's the new Diddy Hamann. That is a fucking belter, mate. That is a belter of a comparison. I like that. I do like that. Fabinho, Diddy Hamann. Nice, nice. Right, guys, a few more bits and pieces as well to get through. So Jurgen Klopp said that Ben Woodburn will only be allowed to move on loan again if he's guaranteed first team football. We know Ben Woodburn was originally supposed to go to Aston Villa, I think, if memory serves correct. Changed his mind last minute, went to Sheffield United. Didn't quite work out from there, picked up an injury, came back to the club, and Kloppo's been speaking to the club website about Ben Woodburn, and he said, Ben has been an outstanding talent, still pretty much a kid, and I'm happy to see him here, running around, completely fit and already settled in the squad. He trained on Friday for the first time, and I think something has to happen with a loan. That'll be towards the end of the week. We'll try really hard to give him as many sessions as possible, so if he goes somewhere, he's in a really good situation. So backing there from the manager for young Ben Woodburn. When Ben Woodburn broke onto the scene a couple of seasons ago, we thought by now, if we're being honest, we probably all thought by now that we'd have heard and seen a lot more of young Ben Woodburn. Now, injuries have taken a toll again on the young man. The loans that he's had hasn't quite worked out for him, but you cannot write this guy off. He's far too young to write him off yet. And I'm glad that Jurgen Klopp's the manager of the club at this moment in time, because he's not going to write him off. He knows what a talent Ben Woodburn can be. A good loan move for him could be the making of him. But like Jurgen Klopp has said, he has to be guaranteed, or as near to being guaranteed, first team football as he can get, if he's fit, of course. Because he needs that football. He needs a good 6 months under his belt, another pre-season with the club, and probably, if I'm being honest, another loan again next season, although probably to a Premier League club if all goes well. What are your thoughts on Ben Woodburn, guys? When he broke on, we all thought that he was the next big thing. Now we're looking at Ryan Brewster and thinking maybe it's him. Now we're looking at Jones and thinking it could be him. We're looking at Nat Phillips thinking it could be him. What do you think? Is there a future for Ben Woodburn at Liverpool Football Club? Do you think Jurgen Klopp is right to send him out on loan again, but only if he can be guaranteed first team football? Or have you any other thoughts or plans for Ben Woodburn? I'd love Robbo to score the title winning goal, said Gokul. I'd just love Robbo to score every week because I absolutely love the guy. I'd love it if Hendo bags one in from 30 yards to win the league against us, or for us, excuse me. Tony Kelly said, I think Woodburn should slowly get into the first team next season. We need bodies. Yeah, but you're talking about maybe bringing back Harry Wilson as well, and a couple of other the younger players that are coming through. So again, it's going to be tough to compete for a place. This season is a bonus, I think, Craig. 2 seasons from now, we'll see our 5-star squad, said Anthony Peters. Did you guys see, if you're on Twitter, I'm sure you follow LFC Stanley House, brilliant account on Twitter. Connor showed me a tweet of his earlier on that he was shown a League Cup team of Liverpool's 3 seasons ago. And you look through the back 5 in there and look to what we have now, and it's night and day. And sometimes as fans, we do forget that just 2-3 years ago, we were pretty damn shit. And now Jurgen Klopp has come in. He's had time. He has put his own stamp on the club. He's brought in his own players. And as the tweet from LFC Stanley House said, just look at the difference between those 3 years, between then and now. The back 5 that we had, it's like night and day looking at it. Oh, there was another person I wanted to say a quick thank you to, so bear with me while I pull up this image because I've completely forgot the gentleman's name and I feel like a dick now. Where is he? Dave Carroll. Dave Carroll sent a lovely message to our Instagram account, a lovely private message there, saying how much he's enjoying the streams and how much it's helped him out and stuff. So Dave, mate, if you're watching, I know you said you work nights, so sometimes you watch it the next morning. Thank you for the lovely message, and thank you to Kev for passing it on. Getting messages like that means the world to us, because knowing that I won't say help people out because that sounds a bit big-headed, but knowing that you enjoy what we're doing and knowing that it's helped you through a difficult period means the world to me, because being on here has helped me through difficult times as well. So thank you so much for reaching out and sending us that message. It means the world to us, and I hope you continue to enjoy the shows. Woodburn has potential, but all we can do at the minute is either send him out on loan or keep him playing in the cup game, said O-Dog. When Woodburn was getting limelight with Wales, I think Kloppo took him out of the limelight with a few lower league loans. we should give Woodburn to Rafa with Newcastle and do them a favour. That's an interesting thought. Is he ready for the Premier League? That's another thing I wonder. Is he ready for the Premier League? And if he does go out on loan, guys, has anybody got any suggestions of clubs? I know, obviously, somebody's just suggested Newcastle there. Craig, you need to have a game against Goldbridge on FIFA. I don't play FIFA. I keep saying I'm not really a gamer. But from what I can gather from people who do watch Mark playing FIFA, he's not great, apparently, so maybe I do have a chance. Apparently he's entertaining, but he's not the greatest FIFA player from what I can gauge. But you know, who am I to judge? I know I'm absolutely dog shit at it. I think Woodburn will be a late bloomer, just like Jesse Lingard, said Harry Carlin. Good shout, mate. Lee Newman, our Manchester United friend, said, I hope we sign Koulibaly, but we're slow on transfers. You definitely need a centre-back, Lee, and if you do get Koulibaly, there ain't much better out there, to be fair, mate. He is quality. I have to disagree about Ben Woodburn. He's a good player, but he's not fast strong enough. Unless he can improve his passing, I don't see him getting a chance. At Skipper Dog. If memory serves, mate, I think you've mentioned this to me a while ago, and I mean a good while ago as well, so you're definitely being consistent with your opinion. Craig, have you got a skin routine? I don't know if it's weird to have one. I have healthy skin, but my cheeks get red. That's probably the weirdest question I've been asked. The weirdest genuine question I've been asked, Tony. And no, mate, I don't have a skin routine. I do put some Nivea on my head every so often after I shave, because it does get a little bit chafed. Is that the word? Because, you know, I shave my head every day, so it does take its toll on it. But no, I just drink lots of water. That's the best thing I can say, Tony. Drink lots of water, flush out your system. And Craig giving beauty tips on here. There you go. I mean, you get it all on here. A little bit of everything on the Anfield agenda. Lee said, I love Goldbridge. He's so funny. He's a top man. He is. He's a good fella, Mark. I actually sent him a message earlier on today. Woodburn should go to Rangers under Stevie G, said Ashley Woodhouse. Woodburn to Eddie Howe. That is a shout there from Origi. That's a shout. It's weird seeing your name with the spanner, mate. It's going to take me a little bit of getting used to. Although, as I said, you absolutely deserve a pal. Woodburn isn't really ready for the Premier League. Probably not physically ready for the Championship, said Harry Carling. Jax Page said, how about Woodburn Rangers for 6 months with Gerrard and his other loaned teammates? Could be a decent move for him. Stevie's bringing in bodies galore up there, isn't he? Fucking hell. They haven't been shy of backing him with transfers anyway, whether they're loan players or players on longer term deals. He's definitely getting backed by the board up there. Pedro said, unfortunately United looking good now. I can see them getting third. Do you know what? Look, we spoke about this last night. And we're a Liverpool fan channel. And we've taken the piss out of every club in the league at some point or another. We had a bit of banter with Mark as well around the games. But you got to give credit where it's due. He's come in, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they've won 8 fucking games in a row. You can't knock that. As much as I can sit here and say you're right down there in 6th league, I can't see it and all that stuff. Kills me to say it, but he's done a good job and you've got to give him credit. Whether he'll be there or get the job full time, not my place to say. I'm not a United fan, but he's done himself no harm and they've put themselves right into contention, right into the mix for a top 4 finish, which is something I just did not see them getting a few months ago. Sabrina said, if water is diet chav coloured, then yes, he drinks lots of it. Getting fucking stitched up by my own wife on here. Jesus. Do you remember the good old days where you used to fucking not watch, love? Wasn't that brilliant? Weren't they great days? I drink a lot of water too. It really helps, said Tony. Craig, how do you change your name here? I don't have a clue how to do it. I've never, ever done anything like that, mate, on here. I turn on the fucking camera and everything is set up for me. Connor has it all done. I'm sure somebody can help you out on how to change your name, exactly where the setting is. Lampard signing Drogba and Terry? I don't think he will. Sure, I don't think he will. United are going to beat City for us, said Joshua James. 2 interesting games. The United City game, the United Liverpool game are going to be big games and could be quite influential in where the league title goes this year. And it fucking kills me to say that. I hate the fact that those fuckers could have any say over the league. Ole is still a secret red like Kevin De Bruyne. He is. I mean, there's no line. I've got the picture of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his Liverpool shirt. But you know, that's not unusual. As kids change and have supported teams when they were younger and gone on to play for different teams. It happens all the time. Look at Arsenal, went on a 22 game unbeaten run, and now then when United will do the same. Once they lose, they'll drop off. But even at that, Mickey, even if they do drop off a bit, they've given themselves a chance. I'm watching because I'm having to watch Bumblebee for a second time today. The joys of being a parent, my dear. The joys of it. Have I got anything else for you guys to get through? Let me see. Oh yes, so the manager was talking about the injury that Joe Gomez currently has, and unfortunately guys, the news around Gomez doesn't sound great. Klopp was speaking and he said the injury is not like the one to Trent or Genie where you know that it's only this thing. It could have been like that, but more and more we found out that it's a more serious thing. We have to wait for sure a couple of weeks. We'll wait and see. It's difficult to judge in the moment. We thought 3 weeks ago he'd be closer by now, and we had to make another diagnosis in which we saw that it didn't work out so far as we wanted. That's why he's still not training or running on the pitch. So by the sounds of things there from the gaffer, it looks like Joe Gomez could still be a little bit away. And it is tough when you pick up a break or a fracture like that. A lot of it is guesswork. You get a rough idea of when he'll be back, but you see often as well little things picked up, little things a little bit worse than is expected, and unfortunately, it looks like we could be without Joe Gomez for a little while longer, which is not the news that any of us wanted to hear. Carragher was a toffee once, which is true. Cannot argue with that. Why are Everton fans called bitter blues? I know they're salty, but they aren't born that way. They are, unfortunately, Tony. They are. It's genetics. It's been proven. I can't. Don't ask me the science. I just know. Harvard did the study and it's just come out that they are just bitter bastards, and you know, can't argue with science. Liverpool need to go after Matthias de Ligt, said Kyle Rose. Again, another fucking player that's been linked to Barcelona. Unfortunately, he's been linked to every top club in Europe, de Ligt, and we love him, and I know Van Dijk would love to play with him as well. But let's not forget we've Joe Gomez here. In the summer, if we move on Joel Matip or Dejan Lovren, or maybe both, then yeah, I wouldn't mind us going and spurging out on another top quality centre back. But somebody even of De Ligt's calibre, again, you're talking silly money, probably 75 million plus on another centre back, which is a shit ton of money. We have it though, because don't forget we're going to post a £100 million profit this year. Craig, I mentioned you got injured again and you didn't listen. It's okay. Didn't listen, Tony, or didn't read it because I've seen a million comments, mate, and just missed it. You know, you can think that I'm a prick, or I could just say that I missed it because I see hundreds of comments going up my screen. So don't take it personally if I don't read it out, because I just haven't seen it. Harry Wilson, loan him out again next season, yes or no? Yes, for me, Carl. I think he needs another loan, but I want to see him in the Premier League next year. Here's what I think will happen with him, and I've said this for quite a while. I think he'll bring him back in, he'll give him the pre-season tour with the lads, keep an eye on him, see how he's getting on, see how that loan has helped him, and then I think he'll shift him out to a Premier League club, possibly make him sign a new deal before he does it. Guys, don't forget, if you're watching, please take a moment to drop a like on the stream, and of course if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Ordered a 93 to 95 home kit with Fowler on the back the other day, and it just came absolutely boss. Where did you get it from, Oren, if you don't mind me asking? Nice one though. I've got a signed Fowler shirt downstairs, and it takes pride of place in my sitting room. Well, it's actually in a frame with a signed Carragher shirt as well, but they look nice. If we loan him again, I suspect he might want to leave. He's going to want first team football. He's going to get it though, O-Dog, that's the thing. If he does go out, he'll be getting first team football, much like he's getting now with Derby County. Or unless you're talking about Ben Woodburn, mate. Sorry, I could be mixed up there. That fella's slash is deep down from his eye down to his bottom lip and a broken nose. That is disgusting. Oh, that is so fucking horrible to hear. Congratulations to Alison and his wife. They're going to be expecting their second child, a Scouse baby. Nice one. I wonder will that child be born with a beautiful, magnificent full beard like his father? Unless, of course, it's a girl, in which case it won't, clearly. Gomez is injury prone. We can't rely on players like this, as is Lovren and Matip, so I think we still need two quality centre backs. Paul, do you know what, mate? I'd love to be able to argue with you, and I'd love to try and pick your point apart, but you know, the stats and history of the players have proven that you know, you're probably right. Gomez, it's a little bit more unlucky, I think, than injury prone. He's picked up serious injuries, whereas the other ones consistently just pick up knocks, niggles and little bits and pieces that keep them out for 2, 4, 6 weeks. But you can't deny that Gomez has missed a lot of the early part of his career through injury. Retrosoccer.co.uk. Nice one, Oren. If you are looking for any nice retro shirts as well, again, we're giving away a shirt from them at the minute, but please do check out scoredraw.com. You'll see more information about the competition now in a minute or two when I play the ad. I'll call it an ad, it's really a competition post. United will win the league in around 5 years. I don't think they will, Lee. Honestly, mate, I think you guys might be in for a period similar to the one that we've had. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go fucking 28 years without winning the league, but I think it's going to be a bit tougher for you to rebuild than I think some United fans might think. That's just my opinion though, and you are moving in the right direction. As I said, I'm not just trying to be salty. I'm a Liverpool fan and I rate Rashford. Bring him to Liverpool, said Joshua. I don't think he'll come, mate, but I rate him as well. I think he's a good footballer. People think that we need a star centre-back like Koulibaly or De Ligt. You're wrong. Have you forgotten that 2 months ago Joe Gomez was at times better than our Lord and Saviour VVD? I don't think anybody has forgotten that, Harry. I think we all rate Joe Gomez a lot. But is there anything wrong with having 3 top quality centre-backs? Because you're going to need 2 of them all the time and you're probably going to need to rest one. But you know what, guys? Look, we'll redebate this again in 35 seconds. So I'll see you then. What's up, everybody? Apologies for interrupting the show. I just want to remind you guys about our competition with thanks to our friends at scoredraw.com. Scoredraw have given us any Scoredraw shirt or any Scoredraw tracksuit top to give away to one of our viewers or subscribers. To enter, all you have to do is check out either the Anfield Agenda Twitter page or the Anfield Agenda Instagram page. You can find us on both by searching at Anfield Agenda. The competition winner will be announced on January the 31st, and as always I want to say a massive thank you to scoredraw.com. They've been very good to us this year and we appreciate all their help. Best of luck, everybody, and we'll head back to the show now. Right, guys, I'm back, and again I hope you've entered the competition, because Scoredraw have been very good to us this year. They've given us a few shirts to give away, and hopefully we're going to have more going forward. So check out the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. As I said, it's just at Anfield Agenda. Check it out, pin tweet on there, all the instructions are there. We're giving the shirt away on the 31st of January, so best of luck to everyone that's entered. Gomez is unlucky, said Will. I think it would be brilliant for the FA to put Everton through. They were cheated in the game anyway. On that, look, there was a handball. Let's be fair, there was a fucking handball there. Yeah, I can understand why you'd be pissed off if you're an Everton fan. Saltiness aside and bitterness aside, I can understand. Right, some more of your wonderful comments. Let's go. More stuff, please, guys, on Joe Gomez. What are your thoughts? Mickey Friars, mate. Always great to see you in. I know you're heading off, buddy, but thank you for dropping in. Phil Jones is the best defender in the world, said Lee. Yes, mate. Him and Degsy Lovren, they're right up there together. Craig, imagine this. We go unbeaten and City get beat by United, so United help us to win the league. That would be unusual, wouldn't it? I'd say that would kill them as well. Liverpool signed Sandro Tonali for 28 million tomorrow. You're the second person, Billy, that's come in and mentioned that. Can you let me know where this is coming from, Billy, or where you're seeing the link, if you can, please, mate? Blakely McCallum is in. How are you, Blakely? This is all I'm going to say. NABY KEITA has been played out of position. He was made to play as a 6, which is Fabinho's position. That's pretty much where we went with it, Blakely. We said that he's played wide, actually, and during his time in Germany, when he played wide on either side, he wasn't as good as he was playing centrally, and there was a few stats and stuff to back that up. But you're right, a lot of us seem to think that he needs to be played through the centre and a little bit further forward in the 8 or the 10. Is Fabinho in training, Craig? Not at the minute, James. Well, not yesterday anyway, because he had an illness. Himself and Virgil van Dijk had a little bit of an illness now. I don't think it's anything that's going to keep him at risk from missing the game against Leicester on Wednesday, but I don't think he trained yesterday anyway. Yesterday, the Reds' first day back after they're in Dubai. They came back, I think they had Thursday off, and they were back in for training on Wednesday or Friday. Do you think Trent is the next Beckham? They're both centre midfielders turned right backs, and both sublime at free kicks, as well as both English. I don't know about him being the next Beckham, although I don't even know what you mean by the next Beckham. I mean, obviously Beckham, excellent player, wonderful technique. A lot of people want Trent to move into central midfield. I don't. I want him to stay at right back. I think he can be a better right back than he can be midfielder. And I also think he'll get more opportunities at right back than he will in midfield. He's pretty much nailed on to start at right back, week in and week out. I don't think he'll get that same guarantee if he moves into midfield. Although, look, the guy is absolutely quality, don't get me wrong. Kyle Rowe said, building a strong defence is the key to long-term success. Can't have enough strong centre-backs. I think we know only too well what difference good defenders can have after this year. It's been like night and day in the past 18 months seeing how Liverpool have progressed defensively. Recessionizer said, I saw Fabi sprinting in training videos today, so he should be fine. Sound. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to hear, mate. Thank you. Gomez needs to be right. Let me start that again. Gomez needs to be to the right to come back long term. No point worrying about something we've no control over. Just hope he's back and he's 100%. My goodness, the wind is kicking up outside. The storm is definitely fucking brewing wherever you guys are. If you're in Ireland, UK, wherever you are, I mean, be safe because the weather sounds like it's taking a turn out there. We need Gini and Fabinho in the central defensive role with Camacho on right back for Leicester. Camacho, I don't know about Camacho right back against Leicester. Vardy will have a fucking field day, I think. As good as I think Camacho is, I would rather have Fabinho at right back. My team for Leicester, if you want to just have a quick go with it, would be obviously Alisson, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Lovren, Robertson, Henderson. I suppose it depends on who the fuck is fit and available, isn't it? Obviously we know Milner suspended. Gini is... Well, I'm going to assume Gini makes it, so let's assume he makes it. I'll play Gini there, and I would play... I'd play fucking Naby, do you know that? I'd play Naby ahead of Shaqiri, because I much prefer Shaqiri coming on as an impact sub. I find that some of the games he's played when he started, he's dropped in and out of the games, and he doesn't have a big enough impact. Craig, if you had a Nando's, not in a long time, Nathan, but yes. When I go to Nando's, I'm a boring fucker though. I have the, what's it called, plainish, I think they call it. Basically the most dull one of them all because I'm a pussy when it comes to spices. Good to see Danny Ayala score today. Really rated him when he was at Liverpool. Never lived up to his potential, said Carl. He went back to the divisions, didn't he? Went to Middlesbrough at one point. Is he at Norwich now or is he still at Middlesbrough? He did score though today, as you said. Oxlade-Chamberlain will push us back. Oxlade-Chamberlain pushes through the back end of the season. Excuse me. He'll give us some. He'll give us some nitro at the end to get over the line. I like that, Tom. Bit of nitro. De Gea versus Alisson. Two very, very good keepers, Lee. But I've been honest in my opinions. I think David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. What centre-back pairing would you choose for Bayern considering VVD is suspended? It depends who's available, Jack, in other positions, mate. I don't like the idea of going into it with Matip and Lovren, I have to say. I'd hope Gomez is back. If Gomez is back, then Gomez and Lovren. Or Gomez and Matip. But, yeah. It's a tough one, but I want to see who's available in midfield, really, before I can make that guess. Name the positions we need to improve on in the summer and who loses out plus who do you want. I think we need another defender, another centre back, and I would move on Matip, Lovren, probably, or Matip or Lovren, or Matip and fucking Lovren, but I'd move them on. I'd move on Adam Lallana and I'd bring in another attacking midfielder. I'd probably look to bring in a wide forward. And who else? Maybe a backup keeper, although I wouldn't mind giving Queevy Kelleher a promotion there. Right back more valuable than midfielder. Easy to find good mid, said Pedro with regards to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good night, Lee. Our Manchester United friend is heading off for the night, mate. Thank you for dropping in. Alisson, Fabinho, Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo, Naby, Hendo, Gini, Bobby, Sadio and Mo. So Anthony Peters. Yeah, when I was going through my team earlier on, I stopped at the midfield because, you know who I mean, for the top three. I never have to name the forwards. They're always going to be the same. Oxlade-Chamberlain will be our new signing, said Malone02. It's going to be great to have him back. But as I keep saying, don't expect too much from him this season. I'm just giving him whatever time he has this season to get his legs back. A full pre-season under his belt, and we'll have Chamber back ready to go next season. What about Bayern player declaring for Ireland? Who's this? Tom, I've missed this, mate. Who was it? Please do let me know. Craig, what do you think of the French league? I'm going to be respectful here when I say it isn't great. Yeah, it's not great. Cahill said audio delay. Are we delayed again? I don't know what's going on, if the audio is delayed or not. Is anybody else? Am I out of sync with anybody else again? Craig, there's a channel on YouTube called Tom LFC Haven. He reports Liverpool news. Can you check it out? No? Tony is the honest answer, mate. I wouldn't. Lip syncing issues again. There you go. Connor, mate, where are you if you're watching? Help. I'm off to bed, out of sync. There you go. Audio out of sync. Grant, 2 seconds. Okay, just waiting for, see if I can get Connor. Okay, give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, I'm going to try and sort the audio out. Connor's not there in the chat at the minute, so I'm going to have a bash at this. Oh, he's there. He is there. Nice. He's coming to the rescue again with his cape on. I feel like you're saying it's like what's in the old Kung Fu. I feel like doing the fuck. You're too good. You want to fight? That'll probably end up being on schedule though, which would be fucked up if it is. Okay, hopefully King Connor's going to come back in and save the day once again. Wearing his little cape and all. Right, got to get Connor an image to send to. There you go. Okay guys, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm still going to keep talking, but it'll be out of sync. So apologies on that one. But Connor will come in and, you know, wear his cape and be a hero and all that jazz. Oh, Eddie Rockets, Tony. Eddie Rockets every day of the week over Nando's. For me. Okay, 1 second. Okay, you're a grasshopper from Kung Fu. Just 2 seconds. Okay. Just waiting for Connor to come on. He's just getting back online, guys, for 2 seconds. I'm going to keep talking though, because I might as well keep chatting. That way at least if it's out of sync, you hear me say something. I have a little bit on Adam Lallana to go through at the end as well, before we finish up tonight. Yay, here he is. I can see him coming in, kicking the door open with his cape on. Enrique Iglesias blaring in the background as Connor comes in to save the day. I can be your hero, baby. There you go. Can you hear Connor? Is that you? Connor on dial-up. No, he's just busy. I mean, I'm dragging him out of whatever he's doing. He's nice enough to come back in and sort this out. So I could fuck this up now by just, you know, purposely going, "Thought, grasshopper, you want to fight?" But yeah, hopefully we'll fix it. 2 seconds. Hopefully that works. Check, check, check. I can be your hero, said Jose. Somebody needs to be. Craig, the hardest question of all time, Clavan or Lovren? Oh, I'm not allowed to say anything but Clavan, or else Connor would just end the stream on me, because Connor loves Ragnar Clavan. Massive fan. Lallana's better than Pogba. There's a show. There's a fucking show. Are you sponsored by Under Armour? Obviously. I mean, look at me. I'm an athlete. Clearly I'm sponsored. Look at this physique. You don't get this by not being in the gym 7 days of your life. Ever. No, I'm not. I just like Under Armour stuff, like Nike stuff, but not like football shirts. Adidas is my main go-to though. Connor's just messing around with some settings here. Lallana done. No future at the club. There you go, said Paul. I think we're back, Connor, onto that 300 again, like you've just done. I think that's whatever happened earlier on that went out of sync. I think we've gone back to the same syncing again. It's what it looked like for me anyway when I was watching the video back. So I think you might have it nailed there to 300. Craig, would you rather have Luis Suarez back or have Man United get relegated? Connor, you are a superstar, mate. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. It's gone from where it was at the start, mate, and then it went out of sync, and then it came back again. But yeah, it looks better. Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your patience, and thank you so much, Connor, for just being a fucking legend, mate. Thank you. Right, as I said, I did have a few little bits and pieces around Lallana, so we can have a chat about that one as well before we finish up tonight. Well, I say finish up, we've a good half an hour left to go. Everybody say thank you to Connor for saving the day, as always. We can blame him or we can say he saved the day. I like to blame him, but it's probably nicer to say he saves the day, which is the truth. Well done, Connor. Right, guys, here we go. The hardest question, done that one. I'm not a lover and hater. I think he's quality, but I still like Matip more. We're solid at the start of Palace. At the end of the day, he was okay, said Liverpool legend. Love the way you keep saying 2 seconds. That's an Irish as it comes. Yeah, it is. Just 2 seconds. That or it's just a mile up the road, Paul. It's just a mile up the road. They are 10 miles later, still driving along. Skipper Dog thinks Lallana's finished as well. Right, on Lallana, as I said, I was reading up on Lallana, just trying to get a background on his injuries and stuff like that. And I seen something in the Echo that caught my eye, and I very rarely majorly disagree with anything that the Echo write, but something there caught my eye. In the Echo, they had an article and they said that he's a valuable option on which the manager can rely. That got me thinking, is he? Is he really? Adam Lallana of 2018/2019, is he a valuable option on which the manager can rely? Now, as I said, I'm a big advocate for the Echo. I like the Echo, so please don't think this is just me having a sly dig at them, because this is just one little thing I disagree on. But yeah, I don't think he is, you know. I don't think he is an asset that the manager can rely on anymore. I think he's picking up far too many injuries. I think that we've progressed as a club and as a level since he's come in, and I think we bypassed them. And personally, I think we should look to sell Adam Lallana in the summer. He's getting to the age now where, you know, he's early 30s. You would probably still get one more move from him, or one more decent amount of cash if you were to move him on. But for me, I know the manager likes him, I know he's Hendo's mate, but I'd move him on, I have to say. I would not class him as reliable anymore. I would class him as obviously unreliable, but unreliable and not at the level that we need either. And I know that might sound a little bit harsh, but I've seen the best and the worst of Lallana. And when Lallana was on form, there was a season where he was one of our better players and he was essential to the squad. But at the moment, I think even as a squad player, we're pushing it. The reason I ask can you check it out is because I don't know how reliable he is. I just don't watch other YouTube things, Tony. I just don't have the time, buddy. Even if we push Lallana out, he would just Cruyff turn his way back in, said Lukey boy. And then Cruyff turn his way back out, and then Cruyff turn his way back in again. And then the play will have moved on and we'll be a little bit behind. Who would you class as dead wood? I'd say Lallana, Klein, Lovren, Matip, Sturridge, Moreno, Mignolet and Markovic. Markovic is what he wrote. I didn't just make that one up. Of your list there, Lallana, I would move on. Klein, obviously moving on. Lovren, I would move on. Matip, I'd move on. Sturridge, he'll be gone at the end of the season. Moreno, he'll be gone as well. Mignolet, I think the same. He'll get his move away. And Markovic, again, I can't really argue with a single name you've put there, Malone. I would argue with the phrase dead wood. I don't really like using that phrase. I would rather just say move on. But the players you've mentioned, you know, I can't really put up much of an argument with. Which ex-Liverpool player do you feel never lived up to their potential? Alberto Aquilani for me. I think we touched on something like this last night. The one I was most disappointed with was Harry Kewell, without a shadow of a doubt. I was sure when we signed him that we had a superstar. So for me, I would say him. I'm trying to think of some names that other people were thinking of last night. Who else did people think that he'd fucked up? Aquilani was definitely mentioned. Who else was there that people said they were disappointed with? Joe Cole was one somebody else mentioned. But look, I'm sure people will put it in the chat. Right. My name is Alberto Moreno. I come from Spainio and I'm a pretty shit defender, said Origi. Crosby Jones said, I hate to admit it, or Crosby Red said, I hate to admit it, Lallana isn't good enough for us anymore. He needs to go in the summer. I think it's okay saying that though, because none of us are just having a slight dig at him and calling him shit. Or I think we all respect what Adam Lallana did when he was here, and we all respect what type of a player he was and that he did contribute to the team. I just think now we've moved past him. I think most of us seem to be agreeing on this. We've a 100% losing streak in games, but he's finished. I don't understand what you mean by that. Is that Moreno I think you're talking about? Alisson's having a baby, so congratulations to him and his wife. Somebody mentioned that earlier on as well. Absolutely congratulations. Baby number 2, I think. Clavin has done more than Lovren. He's just injury prone. No, he hasn't, to be fair. Lovren has done much more than Ragnar Klavan. Much, much, much more. I mean, that's just, I think, an example of an over-the-top reaction. Whether you rate Lovren or not, Lovren has had many fine games for this football club. He's had a couple of fuck-ups, there's no denying that, but he's had many fine games as well. Fernando Morientes said Jan Brand, that's a good show. I think we just got him right at the end of his career, but yeah, when we were signing him, I thought quality player. I thought he was going to be a great addition. Didn't quite work out. Robbie Keane, there's a good example from David Davies. Babel and Balotelli for Harry Carling. Lallana is one of our best midfielders. Interesting. Obviously I would disagree on that one, but of course I respect your opinion. Cole, Harry Kewell and Cisse for Skipper Dog. Adam Bogdan. 118, Mr. fucking 118. I'd be happy to get rid of Markovic for dial-up connection, said Jason. Igor Bishan is the GOAT. Super Croat Igor Bishan used to be atrocious. That is one of my favourite banners of all time. Nuri Sahin, disappointed, said Stig. Stig, mate, where have you been? I feel like we haven't seen you in a while, or maybe I've just missed your comments, buddy. I hope you're keeping well. Aspas, Carroll, Balotelli and Robbie Keane, all disappointing, said Malone. Imagine if Lovren won the World Cup. Imagine he won the World Cup and the fucking Champions League within a couple of months of each other last season, and he was very close to doing it. This is my 6th post tonight and you've yet to read one out. Well, there you go, I just read it out, Shane. Again, I hate when people do that. I do not have any favourites. I don't pick out posts on purpose. I grab them at random. If you've seen how many posts are going through my screen here, mate, you would see. And I've got other things to read. I've got my notes. I've got timers on as well. I've got some audio files going across my screen. I've got lots and lots of stuff on here, Shane. And I promise you, pal, I do my best to read them out. Why does everyone keep talking about Ragnar Klavan? I don't know, mate. People just like him. He's a bit of a cult hero, isn't he? Pity, Shane, you really shouldn't have wasted that comment, mate, by not putting something in. Now I've read out your comment and I just feel like it's been wasted because there wasn't actually anything for me to talk about for you. Downing, that's one from Tom Boland. There's one that disappointed. He was a bag of shite, to be fair. Al Downing. Can we go back a long way, Craig? If so, I'm saying Phil Babb. Yeah, I think he was definitely disappointing. But he did hit his nuts off the post, Graham, so there was always that. Asaidi, like you mentioned last night, said Jose. Right, guys, we have about 25 minutes left on tonight's stream. So to get us through that 25 minutes, I'm going to go to that ad again. So I'll see you in 35 seconds. Connor has fucked up my thing again. He's moved it down there. What's up, everybody? Apologies for interrupting the show. I just want to remind you guys about our competition with thanks to our friends at scoredraw.com. ScoreDraw have given us any ScoreDraw shirt or any ScoreDraw tracksuit top to give away to one of our viewers or subscribers. To enter, all you have to do is check out either the Anfield Agenda Twitter page or the Anfield Agenda Instagram page. You can find us on both by searching @Anfield Agenda. The competition winner will be announced on January the 31st, and as always I want to say a massive thank you to ScoreDraw.com. They've been very good to us this year and we appreciate all their help. Best of luck, everybody, and we'll head back to the show now. Right, guys, we're back for the last segment of tonight's show. Thank you to everyone that stayed with us through the entire thing. I know sometimes people drop in and out drop in for a few minutes, see what's in, watch it back late as well. Thank you to everyone for coming in. So tonight, for the end of the show, I thought rather than me coming up with a segment to talk about, I thought let's just see what you want to talk about. Anything you want to ask, any suggestions that you have, anything, just put it in. I'm going to just read out all your comments. Going to spend the last 20 minutes just going through every single one of your comments that I can. Luis Alberto said, Jose, if you get donkey about your comment, buy a super chat. Oh, I didn't know what you were saying there, Jose, sorry. Suso, that's another good show. Robbie Keane was another one that never lived up to his potential, said Carl. Tony Kelly said, I don't get how Klein would be dead wood. I think he'd be sold after his loan at Bournemouth. I think something's gone on there, Tony. Just a guess, because I've no proof on it and none of us know. But yeah, I think something's gone on with Kleiny, because none of us can say that he isn't good enough to be at least a backup to Trent. I think Nathaniel Klein's a very, very good footballer. I think we probably could have done with keeping him here. You're doing a grand job, lad, as you were. Thank you, Anthony. Please sub, it helps Craig in this community, said Liverpool legend. And please do, guys, look, if you're watching on playback or whatever, take a moment, hit that subscribe button, help us grow the channel. Bayern are shy, they'll get twatted next month. Like it. Stig said, I'm well and good. Life's been getting in the way a little bit for the live stream, but catching up the next day. Brilliant, mate. Glad that you're watching it, and always a pleasure to have you in. What do you think about Bayern Munich? Are they very strong again? Look, you always have to respect the club with the stature of Bayern Munich, in my opinion. They've got some fantastic players. They have an ageing team as well. And I fancy us over 2 legs against them. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I do think we'll get the better of them over 2 legs, and that's my humble and honest opinion on it. Is the Electricity League or League 2 better? I can honestly say I don't see enough of either to give a valid opinion. Craig, when on the topic of goats, we can't leave out Kyriakos. I mean, the big Greek with the ponytail. Can you bring Wednesday forward to tomorrow? I wish. It seems like forever since the Reds have played, doesn't it? It really feels like a long fucking time since Liverpool played. And for those wondering, actually, we will be doing a watch along of the Leicester game. So we'll be starting about 25 minutes, half an hour before the game begins. We'll do a bit of a post or a bit of a pre-show, go through your comments, talk about the starting 11, see how everybody's feeling. We'll then do a bit of alternative commentary throughout the game, have a bit of fun and react to the goals. Hopefully there's a lot of them for the Reds. And then of course we'll have a bit of a post-match show afterwards as well. Actually, that being a night game, we'll probably go straight into the late night agenda. So on Wednesday, you're going to get a good 4.5 hours of content from Anfield Agenda between the match watch along and the post-match show. So if that isn't a reason to subscribe, I don't know what is. As you can see, we're heading towards 7,525 subscribers. So our target for the entire season was 10,000. I didn't think we'd get near that. We started off at 5,000, then we hit that really quickly and we thought, fuck, we better push this target back a little bit. 10,000 is the target we're hoping to hit now before May and the season finishes. So if you're watching and you're enjoying the content, firstly, thank you for watching. I'm glad you are. But do take a minute, hit that subscribe button, and of course turn on the notification bell as well. That way you'll get notified every time we go on. And all our content on here is 100% free, and it's always going to be. I can't get that "can you bring Wednesday forward" comment out of my head now, because I really want to bring Wednesday forward, Anthony, mate. You've no idea. It feels like an absolute eternity since we played. Klein was only 1 game away from a possible Premier League medal, which is true. You have to play 5 games to get that medal for Liverpool if they win the league, of course, but he's only played 4. Gokul said, personally I gave up on Klein when we lost 3-2 against Swansea a couple of years ago. He was horrendous. I have to say I don't think he's the greatest fullback in the world, but I think he's definitely adequate cover and definitely of high enough calibre, and what's the other phrase I'm looking to use here? Seasoned enough, a seasoned veteran, somebody who we can rely on to drop in. Would you bring back Karius from his 2-year loan? No, and it's not really a 2-year loan, Jack. It's a loan to buy. If he plays a certain number of games, they've got to buy him, and it looks like they're going to have to buy him now. What that figure will be will depend on league position for Besiktas, and it will also depend on European performances, I believe, and a few other bits and bobs. But I would be amazed if we see Karius back at Liverpool again. I would look at it that he's gone. I don't know if Kev's LFC artwork has been on here today, Tony, but I've definitely got a message from him on Twitter earlier on. I think I did see him on here though earlier, I think. Manuel Neuer should lube up because Mane, Salah and Firmino will ram him up the ass. Interesting. That's that's a weird comment. I'd say 10,000 before Easter, said Skipper Dog. Nice one. I love that as well. It's got a bit quiet lately, I have to say. The last couple of weeks, I think it's just a bit of a lull. I think we're at that point now where we've had the big build up to Christmas and that massive festive period, and now we've got that kind of lull right up until the Champions League starts off again, and we'll kick into gear, and I think it's going to go fucking crazy in Liverpool land. I think people are going to be looking for content all over the place. I'm hoping we're going to have lots of new people in as well, because it's going to be a crazy end to the season for the Reds. It's going to be a nerve-wracking end to the season, and I cannot wait for it. Blue shite blaming corrupt refereeing for getting dumped out of the cup, said facility time. There was an iffy handball at one point, that's all I can say, but at the end of the day, they got beaten. How they got beaten, you know, they can argue about, but they're out, and that's the end of it. I'd love to know what was going on in Hodgson's head when he made all those shit signings, said Oren. I don't think there was much money around the club at the time either, and I'm not trying to fucking defend Roy Hodgson. Don't get me wrong, I really amn't. We should bring back Klein near the end of the season. I don't think he can be recalled, Ben. I'm not sure of the exact. Yeah, I'd be amazed if he could be recalled, actually. It is shitty, though, that he'd be one away from a medal if we didn't, or if we won the league. I think people who want Klein out is because he's too injury prone, said Tony Kelly. Is he? I don't know. I don't know if that's right or that's wrong, mate. We've had such a quiet window, Craig. Now I know why you don't do a little transfer show. I did at the start, Jose. I did one pretty much every day at the start, mate. Well, I say every day. It lasted about 4 days. And then I quickly realised there was fuck all happening. And there was going to be fuck all happening for the entire window. So, yeah, it's been a tough one. I thought there might have been a couple in this window. And I thought we might have had a little bit of excitement. But the way it's looking, it's a few players gone out. And that's pretty much it. KEITA give him one more season and moved on if poor form continues. He won't be moved anywhere downtown. He's going to be fine. We've gone through the reasons there earlier on, but we feel that he hasn't been as good as we'd hoped. That's ranged from being played out of position to, of course, being in the new league, injuries, not speaking the language as well, a few other bits and pieces, but he'll come good. The thing Craig could have been getting lumps kicked out of us today. Shrewsbury dodged the bullet there, said Graham. Yeah, what way did that Wolves game finish up? Was it 2-2? Because Shrewsbury were 2-0 up, and then I think I'd seen Wolves had pegged it back. Even if we halved our points, we'd still be above Everton by goal difference. That is fucking crazy. That's nuts. That shows you the difference there. Number one player of all time, Gerrard or Dalglish? Carl, I can't really give you a valid opinion because I never got to see Dalglish playing live. I never got to see much of Dalglish. He was just finishing up when I really started getting into football. So for me, I can't, I love them both. I've seen Stevie G, but my favourite player is Robbie Fowler. I'm not saying he's the greatest, I'm saying he's my favourite, but you're asking for the number one. I'd probably side with Dalglish, if I'm being honest, but I mean, you're talking about the best of the best. Did you see about the Everton fan after the Millwall match? I think, Ben, it happened before the match from what I can gather, but yeah, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There's no place for that in sport. And whoever did that should be fucking locked up for a very long time. I mean, rivalries aside, us and Everton don't see eye to eye a lot of the time, but they're football fans. And we, as football fans, we should all be looking out for each other. And there's no place for that in the sport. None whatsoever. If we can beat PSG, we can beat Bayern, said Tony. Absolutely, pal. I agree with you. And I think we will as well. I think we're going to go through. Larry Leeds said, Craig, don't forget, 6 screens of 55-inch bald-headed glory after the match on Wednesday. Yes, Tony, Larry, sorry, I must touch base with you over that one so we can sort it out. Which way do you want to do that, Larry? Do you want me to sort out something where you guys can send me in your questions? Not on here, in a different place, maybe in a WhatsApp group or something, and I can take your questions from there and read them out. That way I'll know I'll definitely get to read your comments and get the guys' opinions. Or let me know what you want to do. I can stay on a little bit longer, or I can do a specific segment, whatever works for you, Larry, mate. Can't wait to chat to the guys, actually. Can't wait to get their questions and hear what they want to have to say. The thoughts of me on 6 55-inch screens, that's pretty fucking scary. I'd tell people in the pub as well to look away from the screen, Larry, for their own sake. Nobody wants to see 55 inches of me. Craig, if you move to the USA, how will you get your Kyos? I'll probably just have to do without cart, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, things like that do enter my mind. Especially when it comes to chocolate as well. Because it's just not the same. The Cadbury's even, it's just not the same. It's much nicer over here. But it's a small sacrifice to make. AFTV Transfer Daily is the most depressing show ever. So much expectation but no results. And that's another one of the reasons why I stopped doing the little transfer videos, Malone, because I don't want to just come on and blow smoke up people's arse and make up shit just to get people on, or lead people to thinking that we're going to sign somebody when I know in my heart of hearts that we aren't. I could do that. I do have, yes, I put my hands up, we do have the occasional little clickbaity headline to try and get people onto the show and stuff. I mean, of course, we all do that, but I wouldn't start talking about transfers that aren't going to happen. Craig, we haven't seen you drink Diet Chav at all tonight. It is here. I mean, it's here. Don't worry, look. Delicious. What else we got? Alison said, Liverpool now have the quality to fight for the biggest trophies. There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Anthony, for that one. And he's right. We fucking do. We're tickety-boo, us. Transfer talk. Marco Arnautovic signs a new contract with West Ham for 2 years. Because... yeah, he wanted to go to China. I mean, truth be told, I think he really wanted that China move because he wanted the money. But maybe he used it to lure West Ham into giving him an improved deal, and it seems to have worked. No, we'll get everyone in Calgary to subscribe. Nice one, Larry. That works for me as well, buddy. I'm really looking forward to it, though, and I can't wait. Hopefully we get over there at some point to meet everybody and shake hands and say hello. And I remember you saying to me, Larry, that there was 3 supporters clubs within a 3-hour drive, I think. And that works for me, because if I hire a car over there, we're hitting up them 3 clubs and saying hello to everybody. Craig, there's no hiding in that closet. Alison's wife and daughter are life goals. I'm saying nothing. Tony, I'm saying nothing. I hope we get Stephen Bergwijn and Timo Werner in the summer. Thoughts, Craig? Timo Werner, Louis, I'm with you, mate, 100%. This Bergwijn guy I'm only starting to look into now. He's the 21-year-old winger from... is it Eindhoven? Is it Eindhoven or Feyenoord? I can't remember. I think it's Eindhoven. Anyway, yeah, or is it Feyenoord? Anyway, he's Dutch. We're not the only ones linked. United have been linked quite strongly to him as well, from what I can gather. But it is always good to see us linked to the top young talent. And let's not forget that Timo Werner is only something like 22 years of age as well, so he's still a spring chicken. A spring chicken. I think that's maybe the first time I've ever used that phrase. I read 2 reports today about Pep trying to personally tap up players from Barca and Wolves. It does happen in the game. I think we're all naive if we think it doesn't. Tapping up happens. Arnautovic played West Ham for a new deal, said Cahill. It happens a lot, mate. I mean, players are good at it these days. Oh, I want to leave, I want to leave, I want to leave. I don't like it here, I want to leave. I have a great offer from a club. I want to go win trophies in China. Oh, 180 grand a week, you say? Oh, yeah, no, I can stay, definitely. Love this club, hammer for life. Stephen Bergwijn has been doing good this season, said Louis. Backup for left back, definitely needed, said Gakul. Great show, said Carl. Thank you, mate. I apologise again with the camera syncing thing tonight. It's just something we're going to have to keep messing around with. It's a new camera that we're using. We'll get there. We'll get there. I think it's worth it, though. I think the image quality is much, much better. Just Calgary and Edmonton are 3 hours apart. Vancouver is another 10 hours away. We're still chatting with the airline to see if you can sort that out. Oh, on a better deal. Larry, I wasn't getting at that at all, mate. Honestly, whatever happens, if we get over there in a year's time and we save up for it, it doesn't matter, mate. We still want to get over there and say hello. The Barca boss was asked about this in his in-match press conference, or his post-match, no, pre-match press conference ahead of Sunday's game against Girona, and he said, if you speak to a player who has a contract with another team, you can't do that. You just speak to his agent, though. That's the way around it. And the agent speaks to him. That's the way it's done, I'm afraid. Arnautovic said earlier in the season that he wanted to play Champions League against the best players, but he also wanted to play in China with farmers. What a hypocrite. It's all about the money, mate. It is all about the money. I don't like the players that leave clubs just for the money. I have 2 thoughts on that, Ben. Sometimes when it comes to players, I look at them and go, you money hungry shit. But then other times I forget that some players, and I'm going to use South America just as an example here, some players who come from the likes of South America come from poverty that me and you and many other people probably couldn't imagine. Now look, I'm not saying we're all fucking well off here, we're middle class or anything, but I'm talking serious poverty levels. Like Suarez, I think parents couldn't even afford to get him boots, if memory serves me correct. And when you come from that level of poverty, and you know that if you can get as much money as you can look after not just your family or your in-laws family or your extended family, you can start to look after your town, your village, and you can make other people's lives better. So I try not to judge players on taking the money, but from a sporting standpoint, you would always hope that people would try and do both. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting yourself as much of a wage as you can, but you became a footballer to win things usually, and you would like to see them trying to compete in the top competitions and not just running off to China and stuff, because I don't think that's worked out for anybody. Anyone I've seen that's gone to China has ended up coming back, anybody of any decent level. Transfer talk. Callum Hudson-Odoi has handed in a transfer request to force his move through to Bayern. That looks like it'll happen though. Craig Carr from last night told me he'll set up a new signing page. Singing? For Ruby. Oh, singing, sorry. A new signing page for Ruby. If you'd like to know about it, I'll tell you when I know. Please do, Tony, mate. Just send me a link or something, and I'll make sure to follow it and to share it. Sterling's booing is bad. Just imagine if a certain Spaniard played against us in Anfield. Who are we talking about there? Malone, you've lost me, mate. I don't know who we're talking about. Do you think we should focus on the United or Bayern Munich game? Why do we need to choose, Ross? Both. They're both important. Of the two of them, though, if I had to say, United. The league, I'm fully about the league, mate, this year. The league is everything to me, as I'm sure it is to most of you guys. That's why we love Stevie so much. Could have doubled his wages and won a couple more trophies. Stayed loyal. Absolutely, we do love Stevie G, and rightly so. Here's some stats, Craig. Steven Bergwijn from PSV this season. 26 games, 10 goals, 10 assists, and double figures already in January. Nice. Skipper Dog. I can understand players leaving for money. It's a short career. And you're right, people might have a poor background that want all their families to have a good life. Exactly. You cannot argue with people for doing that, for wanting to do the best for their families. The league is the most important, said Darren Calvin. It is for me as well, pal. It is. Craig, can you please do an impression of Mark? No, I can't. I'm not doing an impression of Mark Goldridge. Why would I disrespect him like that by doing an impression? I'll leave that to Mr. Double Initials, who had a pop at him last night and just let the whole world know that Mark is inside DT's head. I think we all know that at this point. He embarrassed the fuck out of himself again. Guys, look, I can't think of a better way of saying goodnight tonight than that one. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll really start looking ahead to the game against Leicester, actually coming up on Wednesday. We'll have a watch along of that coming up as well. I'm going to be recording a little video for a friend at Leicester City FC Boya, so I'll be sending that one over to him. Bit of a preview of the game. We'll have him on after the Leicester game, the day after actually, for a review of the game, so we'll get to hear his thoughts on that. As always though, guys, thank you so much to everyone that joined us tonight. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you head off, and of course please drop a like on the stream. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 10 o'clock, for another late night agenda filled full of your Liverpool comments and thoughts. Thank you all for watching. Look after your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.